On September 21, 1989, Hurricane Hugo made landfall in South Carolina, causing widespread devastation and leaving a lasting impact on the state. This Category 4 storm, with wind speeds reaching up to 140 miles per hour, wreaked havoc on communities along the coast and inland, resulting in billions of dollars in damages and the loss of many lives. While natural disasters are often unavoidable, the man-made impact of Hurricane Hugo in South Carolina was exacerbated by poor building codes and inadequate infrastructure. South Carolina, like many other states along the Atlantic coast, is prone to hurricanes and other severe weather events. Despite this knowledge, the state's building codes at the time were not stringent enough to adequately protect homes and businesses from the destructive forces of a storm like Hugo. Many structures were not built to withstand high winds and heavy rain, leading to widespread damage and destruction. In the aftermath of Hurricane Hugo, it became clear that the lack of enforceable building codes played a significant role in the extent of the damage. Homes were not properly reinforced, roofs were not securely fastened, and windows were not impact-resistant. As a result, many buildings were left vulnerable to the powerful winds and storm surge brought by the hurricane. The impact of poor building codes was particularly evident in coastal communities like Charleston, where homes and buildings were left in ruins. The historic city, known for its charming architecture and waterfront views, suffered extensive damage as a result of Hugo. Many buildings, including hotels, restaurants, and shops, were destroyed beyond repair, leaving a lasting scar on the city's landscape. In addition to the physical damage caused by the storm, the economic impact of Hurricane Hugo was also significant. The destruction of homes, businesses, and infrastructure led to widespread unemployment and financial hardship for many residents of South Carolina. The cost of rebuilding and repairing damaged properties was immense, and the recovery process was slow and arduous. In the years following Hurricane Hugo, South Carolina made efforts to improve its building codes and infrastructure to better protect against future storms. The state implemented stricter regulations for new construction, requiring buildings to be built to higher standards to withstand hurricanes and other natural disasters. Additionally, efforts were made to improve emergency response and preparedness, including the development of evacuation plans and storm shelters. While Hurricane Hugo was a natural disaster that could not be prevented, the man-made impact of the storm in South Carolina was exacerbated by poor building codes and inadequate infrastructure. The devastation caused by the storm served as a wake-up call for the state, prompting a reevaluation of its approach to disaster preparedness and response. Through improved building codes and infrastructure, South Carolina has taken steps to better protect its residents and communities from the destructive forces of future hurricanes.
In the early hours of a humid summer morning in Charleston, South Carolina, tragedy struck the city in the form of a devastating fire and explosion at a local sofa factory. The incident took place in the 1980s and shook the city to its core, leaving a lasting impact on the community. The Charleston Sofa Fire, as it came to be known, began in the early hours of the morning when a spark from a malfunctioning machine ignited a pile of highly flammable materials in the factory. The fire quickly spread, fueled by the abundance of flammable materials in the factory, creating an inferno that could be seen for miles around. As firefighters rushed to the scene, the situation took a turn for the worse when a series of chemical drums stored on the factory premises exploded, sending a shock wave through the city and causing widespread panic. The explosion shattered windows, demolished nearby buildings, and sent debris flying in all directions, injuring numerous people in the vicinity. The chaos and devastation caused by the Charleston Sofa Fire were immense. The fire raged for hours, with firefighters working tirelessly to contain the blaze and prevent it from spreading further. Meanwhile, emergency services scrambled to evacuate nearby residents and provide medical assistance to those injured in the explosion. The aftermath of the Charleston Sofa Fire was heartbreaking. The factory was completely destroyed, leaving hundreds of workers without jobs and a source of income. The surrounding neighborhood suffered extensive damage, with many homes and businesses reduced to rubble. The explosion also had a significant environmental impact, as toxic chemicals released into the air and waterways posed a serious threat to public health. In the days and weeks following the Charleston Sofa Fire, the city rallied together to support those affected by the tragedy. Relief efforts were organized to provide emergency aid to displaced residents and help them rebuild their lives. The community also came together to mourn the lives lost in the explosion and honor the bravery of the first responders, who risked their lives to save others. The Charleston Sofa fire was a stark reminder of the dangers posed by industrial accidents and the importance of strict safety regulations in the workplace. The incident sparked a nationwide conversation about the need for better safety protocols in factories and chemical plants, leading to increased oversight and enforcement measures to prevent similar disasters in the future. Though the scars of the Charleston Sofa fire may have faded over the years, the memory of the tragedy remains etched in the history of the city. It serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the resilience of communities in the face of adversity.
The Graniteville train derailment and chlorine gas leak of 2005 was a tragic incident that occurred on January 6, 2005, in Graniteville, South Carolina. The incident resulted in 9 deaths, numerous injuries, and significant environmental damage. The events leading up to the derailment began when a Norfolk Southern train carrying chlorine gas collided with a parked train in the early hours of the morning. The collision caused several of the train cars to derail, with one of them puncturing a tank containing 90 tons of liquid chlorine. The chlorine gas that leaked from the tank quickly spread throughout the town, creating a toxic cloud that engulfed the area. As a result of the chlorine gas leak, 9 people lost their lives, including several train workers and residents of the town. In addition, over 550 people sought medical treatment for chlorine gas exposure, with many experiencing symptoms such as respiratory distress, skin irritation, and burning eyes. The town was also evacuated for several days as emergency responders worked to contain the leak and clean up the area. The environmental impact of the incident was also significant, as the chlorine gas release contaminated soil and water sources in the area. The cleanup process involved removing contaminated soil, monitoring air and water quality, and implementing long-term remediation efforts to ensure the safety of the community. Following the derailment, investigations were conducted to determine the cause of the incident. It was found that human error, faulty equipment, and inadequate safety procedures were contributing factors to the derailment. As a result, Norfolk Southern was held accountable for the incident and faced fines and lawsuits for their role in the disaster. The Graniteville train derailment and chlorine gas leak of 2005 serves as a tragic reminder of the potential dangers of transporting hazardous materials and the importance of strict safety regulations in the transportation industry. The incident also highlighted the need for improved emergency response protocols and communication strategies in the event of a chemical spill or leak. In conclusion, the Graniteville train derailment and chlorine gas leak of 2005 was a devastating event that had far-reaching impacts on the community of Graniteville and the surrounding area. While efforts have been made to clean up and remediate the site, the memories of those who lost their lives in the incident will never be forgotten.
South Carolina has a rich history in the textile industry, with many mills operating throughout the late 19th and early 20th centuries. However, this period of industrial growth also brought with it a series of tragic disasters that resulted in the loss of many lives and left a lasting impact on the state and its residents. One of the most infamous textile mill disasters in South Carolina occurred in 1897 at the Graniteville Mill. In Graniteville, South Carolina, a massive explosion and fire tore through the mill, killing at least 9 workers and injuring many others. The explosion was so powerful that it could be heard for miles around, and the resulting fire engulfed the entire building in a matter of minutes. The cause of the explosion was never definitively determined, but it is believed to have been sparked by a faulty piece of machinery or a buildup of flammable gases. Another tragic event occurred in the town of Lawrence, South Carolina in 1912, when the Watts Mill caught fire and quickly became an inferno, despite the efforts of firefighters and mill workers to contain the blaze. The wooden structure was quickly consumed by flames, trapping many workers inside. In the end, over 24 workers lost their lives in the fire, leaving behind devastated families and a community in mourning. These 2 disasters were just a few of the many that plagued South Carolina's textile industry during this period. The rapid expansion of mills and the push for increased production often led to unsafe working conditions and lax regulations, putting workers at risk of injury and death on a daily basis. Many mills were housed in aging buildings with inadequate fire prevention measures, leading to a number of catastrophic fires that claimed the lives of countless workers. In the aftermath of these disasters, there was a renewed push for improved safety regulations and worker protections in South Carolina's textile industry. While progress was slow, eventually changes were made to ensure the safety of workers in mills across the state. Today, the legacy of these tragic events serves as a reminder of the importance of workplace safety and the need to prioritize the well-being of those who labor in the textile industry. In conclusion, the textile mill disasters that plagued South Carolina in the late 19th and early 20th centuries are a sobering reminder of the human cost of industrialization. The lives lost in these tragic events should not be forgotten, but rather serve as a call to action to ensure that all workers are protected and valued in the workplace. By learning from the mistakes of the past, we can work towards a future where such disasters are a thing of the past.
The Charleston church shooting in 2015 shocked the nation and sparked widespread outrage and debate about gun violence, hate crimes, and race relations in America. The tragic incident took place on the evening of June 17 at the historic African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston, South Carolina. The shooter, a young white man named Dylan Roof, attended a Bible study session at the church and was welcomed by the members of the congregation with open arms. However, he soon revealed his true intentions and opened fire on the unsuspecting group, killing 9 people, including the church's pastor Reverend Clementa Pinckney. Roof's motives quickly became clear when a manifesto and photos emerged online showing him posing with symbols of white supremacy and espousing racist beliefs. It was later revealed that Roof had been influenced by racist ideologies and harbored a deep-seated hatred toward African Americans. The shooting sent shockwaves throughout the country and prompted renewed calls for stricter gun control laws and a national conversation about racism and hate crimes. Politicians, celebrities, and activists from all walks of life denounced the attack and called for unity and solidarity in the face of such senseless violence. One of the most powerful moments to come out of the tragedy was the response of the victims' families, who offered forgiveness to Roof during his court hearing. Their display of grace and compassion in the face of such a heinous act touched the hearts of many and served as a powerful example of the strength of forgiveness and reconciliation. In the aftermath of the shooting, the Emmanuel AME Church became a symbol of resilience and strength as the community rallied together to support one another and heal from the trauma. The church's doors remained open, and its members continued to gather for worship, refusing to be intimidated by the actions of one individual. The Charleston church shooting served as a wake-up call for many Americans, forcing them to confront the ugly reality of racism and violence that still exists in society. It sparked a national dialogue about the need for greater understanding and empathy toward those who are different from us and the importance of standing up against hatred and bigotry in all its forms. 5 years after the tragedy, the memory of the victims lives on in the hearts and minds of those who were touched by their lives. As we reflect on the events of that fateful day, let us remember the lessons learned and strive to build a more just and inclusive society where all are treated with dignity and respect. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content.